In the top stories, Combermerians return to Waterford. Neighbour says childcare board should have acted to prevent abuse. BARL still trying to access Bushy Park. Welcome to Nation News for Monday, September 7, 2015. I am Janelle Ward. It was back to school today for thousands of children in Barbados, including those from Combermerians School who returned to the Waterford campus. The school had been closed for undisclosed environmental problems which plagued the health of both teachers and students. Last term, students were housed at Erdiston Teachers College and the Polytechnic. Principal Ver Paris said protocols would be put in place to ensure there was no repeat.
The school will be developing all the necessary protocols to ensure that everything that can be done will be done, and the issues that occurred before, no one could have predicted what would have caused those particular issues. And I believe you know already that it required excavation and whatnot to be able to have dealt with that particular issue. So those are not things that can be just seen from the surface.
Meanwhile, students from Chalky Mount Primary had their first day at the A. de Costa Edwards Primary in Belle Plaine, St. Andrew. That school has been closed because of structural issues. After the bus arrived, the children did a tour and settled into their new surroundings. Regional youth must be at the center of discussions on agriculture to secure the viability of the sector. This is the opinion of Paolo Silverelli, officer in charge of the Food and Agriculture Organization Youth Caribe program. Mr. Silverelli said that the average age of people in agriculture was around 55, and this was also an issue which needed to be addressed.
Our Freer would advise us the youth should be the subjects, not the objects of this project. We need to understand how the youth understand the world if we're going to work together to improve the world, theirs and ours. This project will provide the space for some of this dialogue, leading to the identification of opportunities to be pursued.
He was speaking at the launch of a $27 million program put on by the FAO-IFAD, which is aimed at strengthening rural opportunities for young people in agriculture. Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Esworth Reid, says in order for a country to fully develop, rural areas must be keeping pace with the urban spread. Mr. Reid queried if the money that was borrowed from the international market could not have been better spent to develop agriculture.
Our cities alone, even so, for a town or city to function effectively, there must be inputs to drive business activity. This cannot be effectively done by inputs of imports alone. A thriving urban sector must be supported and sustained by an effectively thriving rural sector. But to effectively do so, the rural sector must be supported by good physical, social and economic infrastructure that will encourage enterprising primary production. There must also be good communication with and easy access by way of modern and developed modes of transportation to the urban sector to be used as an outlet either for sale, that direct sales, processing of primary products or for export.
Angry neighbors continue to call the offices of the nation in connection with a child abuse story which was published in the Sunday Sun. The eldest child, who is now 13 years old, detailed how she had been sexually abused by her mother's boyfriend from age 11. One neighbor told Nation News how she was almost driven to commit suicide.
He said his sister get up in the morning and asked him what to do. That she feel like killing herself and killing them. That she under pressure. She feel like killing herself and killing her sister and then kill herself. And he turned and tell me he feel like he will run away. He tell she no. let them run away. Get up the morning, wait till them gone in the bed, till the mother and the man in bed. Open the window and let out his sister and his two sisters and get out and go down by a fella we shot near Bumba. Either go down there and call his grand and let his grand pick you up, or not come down here by me and let grand pick you up from down here. So we try to tell him, look, don't do that. When he said about killing us, I said no, don't do it.
She said the Child Care Board should have acted sooner.
It should have done something, not no early sense. Early sense. These children, they're suffering just now. These children was suffering from the time he leave here. If the magistrate they hand over here, then children to he, this won't happen. Okay. It won't happen.
The 3 children are now in the care of their father, while the stepfather has been charged with rape. Minister of Social Care Steve Blackett has also summoned a meeting of the Child Care Board to discuss the issue. The board remains under fire in the wake of incidents involving Jahan King and Shimar Weeks. Both of those cases were reported to the board and both children subsequently died. Investigations are continuing. A man is in custody assisting police with investigations into the murder of Melanie Eversley. His identity has not been released. The partially clad body of 60-year-old Eversley of Jordan St. George was discovered by members of the Barbados Fire Service last Friday near the junction with Walker's Road. Police had made an appeal to the public for assistance in the matter over the weekend. A house was damaged today after a transport board bus ran off the road at Bay Street, St. Michael. Reports indicate the driver was involved in a dispute with a lone female passenger on the bus. Jermaine Austin, who rents the home, spoke to Nation News.
All I hear was a loud noise. When I came out, I saw the bus. You could fit inside the house. That was that.
Anything in the house damage?
Just the wall ornament fall off, which will get some kind of scratch or something on the coffee table. Get some scratches and so. But besides that, most of the damage was done on the house.
In sport, the Barbados Auto Racing League continues to hit snags in their attempts to use Bushy Park. They say after complying with requirements to take up an access agreement, they have still been unable to use the facility.
Bushy Park is the facility for the home from the sport, and we would like to be able to go there and showcase our talents as well as all the other activities that we've been using so far.
Okay, so how long have you guys been have not been able to use Bushy Park?
Since 2013.
And what are the reasons that were given for you guys not being able to use it?
Nothing any real reason, to be honest. We were told that we needed to come to take up one of the agreements, and we've done that this year, earlier in the year, and we're still waiting.
Hockey will be returning to the community. 10 teams have signed on for the inaugural Wonder Barbados Hockey 5S tournament, which will be played from October 17th to November 15th at selected car parks and hard courts across Barbados. Tournament organizer Adrian Nichols said the idea of the tournament was to get more people exposed to hockey and promise lots of goals. The winners will receive cash, a trophy, and individual medals. And finally, an Alaska woman was arrested and charged with stealing a police patrol car in which her husband was handcuffed. Amber Waterford and her husband Joshua were both arrested at home after troopers acted on a tip. Mr. Waterford had been arrested for driving under the influence but did not appear in court. He was arrested again, handcuffed and placed in the back of the vehicle. When a motorist stopped and spoke to the arresting officer, Mrs. Waterford got in the vehicle and drove off. The car was later found intact. Mr. Waterford was put in jail and his wife was released on bail. That's where we end the Nation News for Monday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Tuesday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thank you so much for joining us.